With the latest packs in Master Duel and now also a new solo mode, the entire meta has completely shifted. So today I'm gonna talk about the 5 best decks currently available in the game. If you still need a beautiful playmat, you can go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code SOLEM for a discount. This beautiful one is actually brand new, based on the God's Anger cover song I released. I think yesterday or so. If you're interested in that, go check it out. We also have deck boxes based on that. So as you can see, like on all sides, very, very fancy. You can also have this deck box. Again, use the code SOLEM. Now, while a lot of new cards have completely changed the meta, for number 5, I am still gonna say MathMech. MathMech, still a really solid deck, plays through a lot of interruption, has room for a billion hand traps. Super Factorial is an insane card. It also has really solid OTK potential with the Cybers card. And so overall, MathMech, while it has now been crept out like instantly, because Sprite is just that insane, it is still, in my opinion, deserving of the number 5 spot. On number 4, we have the deck that everyone is now thinking of, and that is Sprite. Now, don't you worry, I'm not saying Sprite is not one of the best decks. There's just a lot of different Sprite decks, and number 4 here is pure Sprite. So when you put all of these Sprite cards together, and a bunch of hand traps, a bunch of non-engine cards essentially, you can break virtually any board with Zeus, then still set up the full combo on top of that. Then afterwards, you just completely out-advantage your opponent. You have the Nimble Beaver package. You have even Swap Frog with Ronin Totem, which is endless value. You can even search Max C in this deck. Sprite as an engine is just incredible. It's just endless plussing. It's endless value. And so for that reason, it completely changed the game, basically. If you're not playing Sprite, I mean, good luck. On number 3, we have another Sprite variant, actually. We have Life Twin Sprite. Remember everything I just said about Sprite? You know, a lot of room for non-engine, a bunch of extensions, sets up crazy boards. Now, add even more plussing, even more popping, and also the potential for a sight lock. Sprite is just insane. Oh, we also have Ibly locking in Sprite. Wow, yeah, I'm forgetting all of the bullshit Sprite can really do. And Evil Twin is just, you know, a little bit extra on top of that. Now, sometimes Evil Twins can be a bit awkward because they can lock you into Fiends, so you kind of need to play around the fact that the Sprite cards will lock you into level and rank and link 2s, so you don't have access to your Trouble Sunny always. And then with the Evil Twins, you might be locked into Fiend, so you no longer have access to your Sprite Thunder cards. But as long as you manage that well, this deck is absolutely incredible, both going first and second. On number 2, we actually have a new contender, and I think this is going to go kind of the same way as MathMech went. I will go, oh, actually, this deck is crazy strong. Then a bunch of people will go, no, actually, that's not true. And then 2 weeks later, you'll be crying about it. But I think the number 2 deck on this list is Rika. We just had this solo mode come out, which brought some Rika support. And now, if you haven't played the TCG, you might think, Rika, I've played against Rika a bit on Master Duel. Deck's pretty shit. Deck's pretty fair. No, this new Rika support changes everything about this deck. Rika actually won the European Championships last year because of exactly this support. The Rika field spell, allowing you to basically use your other Rika cards to wipe your opponent's board for cost, not for effect. So if you think, oh, I'm gonna just negate, no, there's no negating a cost. It's always going off. And if you have cards that trigger when they are sent for effect or something, too bad.
Just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
It doesn't matter, because Rika will wipe your board for cost. And then you have negates and endless recursion. Rika is an insane deck once they have field spell and princess and all of that incredible support, and now they just have access to it. On top of that, they also have access to bullshit floodgates, just like other decks, but not every single deck can really play them that well. This deck will gladly use the floodgates, both going first and second. This deck is really powerful. With that being said, it is, in my opinion, not as powerful as the number 1 deck on our list, and of course, you already know what it is. It is Runic Sprite. I also called this one. I think we're still gonna see an insane format where Sprite plus Runic is gonna be the best deck. And it wasn't a hard call. I'm not some genius for saying this. Runic Sprite is broken. Yeah, Runic Fountain telling you to draw 3 on your turn and then your opponent's turn as well, which then draws you into other Runic cards which break their board on top of all the value that Sprite provides, is absolutely insane. We all know Sprite was pre-hit by having totally awesome band in Master Duel, but funnily enough, the highest power level Runic Sprite deck in the TCG, even when Toad was legal, did not run Toad. So this deck is at full power. Actually, Runic Sprite and Master Duel right now is a more powerful deck than the best decks in the TCG right now. Do you know how crazy that is? Normally, Master Duel is always a few months behind TCG in terms of power level, but currently it is literally a few months ahead because everything in the TCG got nuked, but this deck somehow is still at full power in MD. It is absolutely crazy. Runic Sprite is number 1 by a landslide still, even though I do think Rika is actually really solid right now and a bit of a sleeper until people start realizing. So that is the top 5 best decks in my opinion. Hope you found this very interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Again, if you still need a beautiful playmat, go to zerodamagegaming.com, use the code Solemn. You can also pick up a beautiful deck box, and I will see you soon. Ciao.